Welcome! You're watching the Thrift Store Rundown, bringing Hollywood home on a budget. As I'm sure you're aware of, last weekend at the 71st Annual Primetime Emmys, and at the two-night Creative Arts Emmys the weekend before that, Game of Thrones reaped their final bounty of Emmys, including their fourth win for Outstanding Drama Series, bringing their total of wins to 59 statues, the most for any show in the history of the Primetime Emmys, let alone any show on HBO. So while Game of Thrones is enjoying its virtual banquet of Emmys, which I'm sure will be a Guinness World Record on top of the 6 they already have, including most pirated TV show and largest TV show simulcast, you can enjoy a banquet of home-cooked Winterfell cuisine. This is a feast of ice and fire, the official companion cookbook. The co-authors of this book are the curators of InAtTheCrossroads.com, a foodie fandom blog, Chelsea Monroe Castle, and Sarah Lara. George R.R. Martin, the author of the Games of Thrones books, provides the introduction. I got it for $4.99. This is from Bantam Books. Food is one of life's great pleasures, and I am all in favor of pleasure. Reading is another of those things that can help make life worth living. Don't I know that well? And when one can combine reading and food, well, this is why my novels are so full of food. Even though, as he admits in his introduction, he knows nothing about cooking, only breakfast and certain days in summertime where he likes to douse the charcoal with lighter fluid to cook up some meat. That's a big fat no-no, sir. Anyway, retail price, $35 US and $38 in Canada. A Feast of Ice and Fire contains more than 100 recipes divided by region, factions as you would call them, in Winterfell, the Wall, the North, the South, King's Landing, Dorne, and across the Narrow Sea. There's even a guide to dining and entertaining in the style of the Seven Kingdoms. Again, these are the authors, Chelsea Monroe Castle and Sarah Lara. I decided to highlight the recipes in here, which would have PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, we mentioned them several times around here, throw up in disgust and potentially boycott any Game of Thrones spin-offs in the future. Let the weirdness commence. Have your broth bag or forking knife ready. Broth of seaweed and clams. By the way, at the top of every recipe, there is an excerpt from a book in the Games of Thrones series, like this one, A Feast for Crows. When he woke, the day was bright and windy. Aaron broke his fast on a broth of clams and seaweed cooked above a driftwood fire. There's also a mention of which side recipe, which side dish fares well with this main dish. Next, we have stewed rabbit. I'm not kidding you, stewed rabbit. I guess the co-authors of this book must have some Fatal Attraction deja vu thoughts. Because I don't see anybody boiling a bunny to make stewed rabbit. Unless they're big time serious about binge-watching Game of Thrones and having a viewing party the right way, but only when it comes back on a streaming service. You'll eat rabbit, or you won't eat. Roast rabbit on a spit would be quickest if you got a hunger. Or might be you like it stewed with ale and onions. Well, that doesn't sound too terrible. Arya could almost taste the rabbit. We have no coin, but we bought some carrots and cabbages we could trade you. A storm of swords. This is the stewed rabbit. Pairs well with black bread and Elizabethan lemon cakes. Would stewed rabbit pair well with anything, really? Again, it's stewed rabbit. And if you buy the rabbits and they're named Max and or Ruby, well then, you'll be blessing the spirit of one very angry grandpa on YouTube. Or anyone else who doesn't like Max and Ruby, but I happen to like Max and Ruby. Wait a second, why am I talking about Max and Ruby when this is a Game of Thrones-based video? Anyway, keep it going. Modern cream of mushroom and snail soup. I'm not kidding you. There are canned escargots, canned snails used in this soup, and in another dish, which I'll show you momentarily, and that would be right now, quails drowned in butter. I'm not kidding, snails drowned in butter. 1 small apple, cored and quartered, 4 whole snails, Elizabethan butter sauce, unsalted butter, salt and ground black pepper to taste, and an optional spoonful of honey. This evening, they had supped on oxtail soup, summer greens tossed with pecans, grapes, red fennel, and crumbled cheese, hot crab pie, spiced squash, and quail drowned in butter. Lord Janos allowed that he had never eaten half so well. A class of kings. Pairs well with a summer green salad and turnips in butter, so you have your fair share of tame recipes in here too. Although the next recipe is nothing tame. This is roasted boar. I kid you not, that is roasted bear tenderloin. Take a look at the ingredients here. 4 boar tenderloins. Is a boar the same as a bear? Sansa, Lady Hourly Broken, you must be very hungry. Shall we have a bite of boar together and some lemon cakes? A storm of swords. Pairs well with oat bread and sweet corn fritters. Goodness gracious. And if that wasn't enough, we saved the weirdest for last and the wildest for last. Dornish snake, rattlesnake with fiery sauce. A short man stood in an arched doorway, grilling chunks of snake over a brazier, turning them with wooden tongs as they crisped. The pungent smell of his sauces brought tears to the knight's eyes. The best snake sauce had a drop of venom in it, he had heard, along with mustard seeds and dragon peppers, a feast for crows. One thing you gotta give George R.R. Martin credit for, he knows how to write food descriptions that can somehow excuse the use of exotic animals in this. I'm not really into the use of exotic animals for purposes of cookery. While many claim that steak tastes just like chicken, this is not strictly the case. The texture is similar to chicken, but a slightly overcooked one, quite firm. It's reminiscent of a dried sausage, given the leanness of the meat and its density. The flavor, admittedly, does share some similarities with chicken, but this is only insofar as both chicken and steak are relatively mild, as if designed to showcase whatever they are served with. In this case, the sauce steals the spotlight. Warm, rich, with a bit of bite to it, the sauce is subtly exotic. However, it is not so strong that it overpowers the flavor of the steak and instead complements the slight gaminess of the meat. So, these are the ingredients. And one last look at this. Dornish snake with fiery sauce, page 182. Repeat this. People for the ethical treatment of animals, back off! You have no place to trespass in George R.R. Martin's fantastical world of fiery creatures and all sorts of mythical nonsense. This is the guide to feasting in style. And if you're looking for some tame dishes, you'll find them here in the index. Breakfast, breads and buns, salads and sides, soups and stews, pies and savory tarts, main courses, beverages, and desserts. And menus. Which recipes will fare well for which faction at Winterfell? Dinner in King's Landing, dinner with the Night's Watch, dinner at River Run, a feast at Winterfell, tourney feast at King's Landing, sumptuous spread at Bitterbridge, and a wedding in King's Landing. I think I actually like a wedding in King's Landing the best. And one thing I gotta give credit to the authors for, the acknowledgement of the fans of their blog in at thecrossroads.com. And if you'd like to check that out, the link will be in the description. I promise you that if Game of Thrones won Outstanding Drama Series at last weekend's Emmys, that you would see this on the channel. And that day has come. Now, due to the popularity of Game of Thrones, it was not really a question of if I would find Game of Thrones of any capacity at the thrift store to bring home a review. It was a question of when. A couple of weeks ago was when, and today, in honor of its Outstanding Drama Series triumph at the Emmys for the final time, is now. 4.5 out of 5. Remember, winter is coming in less than 3 months, so don't be afraid to pack on a few extra pounds with this book. That is, if you dare. This is not for the faint of heart, and definitely not for the faint stomach. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the flip side. My kudos to all of you Game of Thrones fans who deserve it the most. You guys did it along with them.